the channel for games, guides, and glitches. If you're a developer or publisher, feel free to contact me at the email, and to my regular viewers, please remember to subscribe, it really helps me out. Sudden Fall here with a guide for Mortisomem. I'm going to go with Mortiso and have the MEM as quiet, silent letters. Mortiso sounds cool. So first off, you want to go into the options. Just in case you're photosensitive, you can actually disable the photosensitive effects. I'm going to do that for everyone just to save time. You can turn up the brightness, and what I always like to do is turn down the music. So you want to go to New Game, and we'll have a cutscene with some story, and you basically just want to hit B to go through it all. So the controls in this game are a little bit different than your usual game. Instead of A being interact, B is to interact with things, and A is to run. To jump is X. That'll come in handy later. RB and B with the gun is to fire. That took me a little longer than I'd like to admit to get used to. So you want to push B and enter this door when we can move, and you want to go over to this toilet for our first achievement. And from there we can exit. Now we want to grab the lantern. We can't leave without grabbing the lantern, so you want to push B on the lantern, and then push B to exit the door, and then push B on this dog. Who's a good boy? Then we want to hold A and run to the end of this fence. And you want to angle yourself on a trajectory like so, and then hold A to run. As you can see, we have a stamina bar, and we will be getting chased by the Mortiso, so we don't want to run out of stamina all the time. But there is a trick to it. The game will give us stamina. See, X is to jump like so. You can jump onto this. I'm just showing you the X button. So with the stamina, it will refill if we're being chased. But you still want to make sure that you don't let it run empty, because he does walk up behind you and you have to run away from him. At the moment he won't show up because this is more or less the intro section. We want to continue heading straight, ignoring all the noises and stuff. As you can see, there's a kitty on the right. That's who broke the window. So we want to head straight here. We can't go right until we do. Interact with Bambi here. And that gives us the Bambi achievement. Now we can head down this road. We're going to get up to a building on our right, and the building, when we're just past that, is where the Mortiso will attack. You'll have infinite stamina during this section because it's just teaching you what he does. I ran out of stamina here just to show you that he will hit you. So you gotta make sure you always keep your distance, because you don't want to be killed by too many hits. You want to walk up to this record player. Once he says how strange the phonograph, you can run away. We want to head down where this bonfire is, and there's a door right in front of it. right here that we can enter. We have to enter this door to get rid of the barriers around the city. So we have to talk to this guy, so cycle with B throughout the text, but be careful because you can sometimes click on him for a conversation. And if you do, the easiest way to get out of it is just to ask if you can stay and then say sorry. It's exactly what I did. He's just telling us about collecting 3 keys. These keys will open a door so we can go back home. He also offers us a gun, but we're going to let him keep it because we don't need it. So right here I was hammering B and it's gone into conversation mode. Unfortunately there's no exit conversation, so you have to cycle through a conversation, so that's why I suggest what I suggest. It's the best way to get through it quick enough. So we want to exit the door and head left. Follow this pathway and then left here. And then you want to go straight here, slightly to the left. If you'll see the tall tree in a minute, the straight ones that look like telephone poles, those are the ones you want to keep in your view. Because right in front of them is the campsite. So just be careful checking the campsite because I'm not 100% sure on the spawns for the CDs, and I imagine one could spawn there, but the item we want is the old photo here. The CDs I found out spawn randomly, but I will be showing 3 locations during this run that I did find. So you want to run this way. I open the map so you know where I'm heading and facing. This is just to cut out a lot of the walking, and so that way Mortimer doesn't come after us. So once you get here, we can head straight through the footpath, no more having to go through the shrubbery. And on our right is the building. This is why we took this shortcut. You can push B at the door here so you don't have to walk around and go up the stairs. We want to talk to this bloke. Want us to check, that would be fantastic. And then she doesn't like you drinking. And this will allow us to take the rum. And now we can leave. Thanks, mate. Now we can head forward. We can keep heading forward when the stamina comes back. And there'll be a bridge. We have to cross this bridge. So we want to keep following this pathway. And we'll come up to a turn. We want the left turn. You can hear footsteps in. Those footsteps with the Mortimer. So when we get up here, we're going to get to another crossroads and we want to take the right one. So as we're running down the pathway, there's a little marking that will help us skip a little bit. So we're supposed to go to this well to get a key, and we're supposed to do it from a certain location, but if you know the location, or you have an idea like I have right here, this stick and this rock. So wait till our stamina is full. And then you want to run into the shrubbery in a straight direction till you see the well. You want to come to this side to grab the key, because he will appear sometimes through the well. And in this case he glitched me through the well, which was a unique one. That's never happened. He usually comes out of the well on me every run, so that's why I go to that part, because he comes out from the other side, giving you time to get the key. But then we want to go down here and into this hut. This is down the road from where we left. Right here is one of the locations of the vinyl that I said there's 3 locations that I know of that it could spawn in. This vinyl right here. So we want to use the key, so select the key and then push B on the box, then grab the golden idol. You may or may not need the pills. I'm on regular health right now, so I'm going to use the medication just to show you what and how to do it. So you select it and then you get out of the inventory and you push Y to heal. To get into the inventory, it's LB. It's very unique. I figured I'd mention that now since we're talking about the inventory. Possibly should have mentioned it earlier. I do apologize. But so we're heading down this road now, because we want to go into another house. We are heading somewhere. I chose this direction and this pathway for the fastest route that I could create. So again, be careful with your stamina, because as you can see, he's right behind me. And it doesn't refill if he's walking behind you, it only refills if he starts chasing you. And as I've shown, he will whip you from behind without being activated. So we want to head to the left here, into this building. We're going to get another achievement, spin a little bit. Push B on this cat. And then come over here and collect this ammo box. Then we want to head to the left here and continue following the footpath. So right here, we want to cut so that way we can save ourselves a little bit of time, and you want to go through this pathway here and you'll just pop out here. It's only a shortcut, but it saves a little bit of travel time. I didn't want a huge one because I didn't want to get anyone lost. So those sounds are him dropping bodies, and we will be returning this way once we go to the house here, so I can point it out. So we want to go inside this door, and you want to go over to this piano and you want to push B on it. And you want to collect the ammo box on top of it. And we can push B to leave. Now we're going to head back the way we came. And I'll point out that body I mentioned earlier because you'll be able to see it. So watch the ground. I'm right there. It falls from the trees, I assume. There's one later that pretty much falls on top of me and makes me run because I thought it was the Mortimer. That is the Mortimer. So we want to run away from him. And he comes after us like the tutorial. But in this case, I was in a location where I couldn't get far enough away from him. But thankfully he sort of decided he wanted to watch what we're going to do next. So all we got to do next is jump onto this, and then you've got to run and jump, and from there you've got to run and jump to the totem pole and then jump over that. Since he's already there, I'm just going to go around this and not open the door because he can't come after me then. We want to head into this hut here and head forward for a cutscene. Meanwhile, the whole time we have the statue. So we want to grab the key. It's important, so don't forget it. Then talk to him. And then go, I found your figurine. This will unlock fast travel, so it's why we went this route first. Now we want to exit. It also gets you an achievement as a bonus. Yay. And we want to head off this way. This is a pretty long path and it can be a little confusing, but it is the correct way. You can also use all your energy because I don't think the Mortimer is coming after us. I haven't been chased once in all my runs. So right here is where the elder lady is. And we have yet another conversation. So we can collect the bag. And now we can head back the way we came. You'll see a horse. That horse is our fast travel horse. So open the gate with B. That's in case you want to return. And we want to head to the colonial fort. So move over to it, select it, and hit B. This will activate a cutscene when we go to the bridge, which is necessary for the next part. You have to push B to cycle through the conversation. I didn't realize that at first. Then we want to push B and run straight past the fast travel horse because we're going to go to a house nearby, just up this pathway to our right. And we're going to get one of the most important items for one of our endings. So when you walk forward, we're going to have a gun pulled on us. Just cycle through the conversation. So I want to push B. Deliver the photo. Move over to the right and you'll see a gun and ammo box. Pick up the gun and the ammo box. We also get an achievement, so yay. And now we can head back to our fast travel horse. Be very careful. Sometimes when I've done it during a run, the Mortimer has come out and you can't cross that bridge, so just remember that. From here we want to go to the fishing port. Sometimes the items will stay red after you fast travel, but from the fishing port we want to head to the left here. We want to grab the hammer and the ammo box. Then we want to come over here and we want to grab the nails. If you haven't got room for the nails, just go to your inventory, click on the lantern and push Y. We don't need that. And then grab the nails. go to the boat here, and we'll have a very confusing minigame. So you have to use the left stick to select a nail, B held in to drag it, and then it'll click into place. And you have to do this individually for each nail. So once you've done a nail, hit the left stick, then hold in B, and then drag it. And it doesn't unselect them, but when you get to the hammer, you've got to hold B as well, and move it, and then hit it 4 times. And if you unselect it like so, you've got to reselect it, hold MB to move it, so it can be very tricky. But once it's done, the boat will be repaired, and we can go to the dock just there, and we can jump in the boat with B. So we want to head this way, and past this light right in the middle where this tree is, you want to head to this one, slightly right. You'll see a wall, we want to head straight, and then to the right here is an archway, you want to go through it, and to the left is a door, push B to enter. And yes, I was being chased by Mortimer, but that's okay. Right here is a piece of paper, you can read it with A, and then A again to close it. B is to select it. And then we just need to move some wood out of the way to get a key that's right here. And then once we've got that, we can leave. That's all we needed in this location. So now we can head back to the boat the same way we went there, by following through the trees like so. And once you see the lantern, you can head downwards towards the boat. Before we get into before we fast travel, click on the hammer and then push Y. Then we want to go to the church. This is where I'll show you location 2 and 3 of the vinyl record. If you find a location that I haven't included, because I did try to find all the locations, please write it as a comment so others can see it, and hopefully we can get a good solution going. So it's on that table in the fishing hut here. So with that shown, I'm gonna head past the church because we're not going to it just yet, but it is the closest location for what we need. So you just want to follow this pathway. It does take a little bit because it is quite a distance, but again, it was the closest location to the locations we need to go. So right here at this archway you can go left or right. For the vinyl, if you need it, we need to go right. If it's not in the first 2 locations, there is a 3rd location, and it is good to go to this location anyway for an ammo box for the ammo that we're stocking up. But right here, near this piece of paper in this guy's hand, will be the vinyl. This is the location on the map. Since the other one was so close to the church, I didn't pull up the map. But to get the ammo box I was talking about, go onto this chair here and collect the ammo box. Like I said, it might be handy to come to this area anyway if you're worried about wasting too much ammo for the later thing we have to do. So you want to head down this way, and we're going to go to the left now, which is straight. And as you can see, Mortimer keeps following me. Ignore this house on the left. Only go in there if you want to save. Going inside houses, I should have mentioned earlier again. I'm sorry for that. I'll put it in the notes though, so that way on the description you'll have the advice there. But going into houses saves the game. We want to head straight. And on our right here is the house that we want. So again, we can enter the door like I did the other way to save us time. So in here we want to talk to this guy. And we want to say, do you have any tobacco? Then we want to say, it would be nice to have some. And he'll give us some tobacco. Because he's a top bloke. And then we can exit. Now we can head all the way back to the church. As you can see, we're here. So it's not too far off, but it's the furthest one we have to do. The fast travel horse only goes to the major locations, unfortunately. So again, you can go in that door if you want to save it, but otherwise just skip it like I am. Head to the right, and then we want to follow this long path back to the church. I would go in the shrubbery, but it gets very confusing and easy to get lost, and I don't want to get lost while I'm telling you guys where to go. That's why I only stuck to the bush when I knew where I was going. As you can see, a body fell and that made me run thinking it was Mortimer. I mentioned that earlier. Because he often jumps fences, and so my initial reaction was that he was jumping a fence. Once we're in the church, we will have to grab some rope, and we will have to go to a location that's semi-difficult to explain, but I will do my best. Then we will head back to the church, and then go to the next location. So we're almost done. So we're at the church now, and you want to head inside, and then we'll walk forward and have a conversation. So right here is some rope, and if your inventory is full like mine, just drop something. I dropped the rum. You can drop whatever you want. It'll be safe in this building, so it's the best place to drop it anyway. And then we can leave once we've got the rope. Grab the rope so that you're holding it like so, and then head in this direction through this cornfield here. And then in a semi-straight direction, we'll get to the edge of a cliff if we follow this direction. And then you want to follow it upwards. Be careful not to fall on the sides of it, otherwise you'll have to push X to jump back up. And you want to follow the sides of it till you find a person. Right here it'll come up with throw the rope down. The person is located about here. I know the map doesn't help too much, but I figured I'd still pop it up for you guys. So you want to push B to do the rope, and then you've got to lift your camera up because you were looking down, and then spin around so that you're facing the church direction, and then run back to the church. Once you see the cornfield, you can enter through the cornfield. It's easy to know where you're going. Mortimer's appearing, so they got extra stamina thanks to him, but once you get to the church door like so, you'll drop her off. And that also got you an achievement for being a good citizen, so nice work. So there's a couple of objects you can grab if you need health. There's one there, but either way you want to grab the rum. Don't forget the item that you dropped. And then play this piano. You know the rules. So enter the door, and we can go to the horse, and we can go to our next fast travel location, which is the cemetery. I'm just getting rid of all the reds so that you knew exactly where we're going, because there was way too many then. So we want to drop another object just temporarily. Again, I'm going to just drop the rum because it's the easiest object to drop. It doesn't move from its location. Pick up the rock, and then you want to interact with the lock to get the minigame. Once you highlight the rock, you want to move it with B into the lock, back and forth until the lock comes off. Once the lock comes off, we can drop the rock and pick up the rum. And then we can head straight into the door right here in the cemetery. And we'll find a guy in a cot. So we want to have a chat with him. He wants the rum we've been throwing away around, so deliver him the rum. Then on our right, talk to him again. He'll ask for some tobacco, so give him the tobacco. This will get us another achievement. Grab the key, and then grab the ammo box. Exit the door. And we're going to head to San Antonio now. St. Anthony is St. Antonio. So we want to head to the door of the guy that we had a conversation with, just so that we can save it, because we're going to get our first of 3 endings. So you want to grab out the vinyl record, that's what we want. And that's what you need. And we need to get the Mortimer to follow us. Mortio. Whatever you want to call him. We need to get the demon to follow us. And we're going to put the record into that when he's around. So the best way I found is to head down here. It may take 1 or 2, maybe even 3 tries, but you want to head all the way to where the well is. That is where he originally chased us. As you can see, the vinyl blocks your view a lot, so I like to not have it out and pull it out when I need it. As long as he doesn't kill you, it also doesn't matter how many hits, because we will be loading our save after we get this ending. So right here is the well I was talking about, and from here we can just walk back. Generally you will hear him doing footsteps behind you, and so you can turn around and activate him like so. Then we just have to try and keep our distance while not running too far away from him, which is easier said than done, because as you can see here, he chases after you. And he's pretty dang fast. Now I'm getting out the record since I'm getting close. And then you want to interact with the record player with B until it lets you play it when he's close enough. And we've got our first ending. Congratulations and enjoy. So congrats on the secret ending. Feel free to read the text. You won't the ending, so you may as well read what happened. Once return to menu happens to pop up, you want to select that and hit B. This will return us to the main menu. You want to go load game. Do not hit new game. You want to make sure you hit load game. This will load us up back in the house, and we can drop the vinyl since we don't need it, and we can exit. So aren't we nice? We didn't take his gun and we gave him a vinyl record. So you want to head to the old battlefield, the only location we haven't been yet. You want to go up to this gate and you want to push the LB button, and then you want to select the blue key, and then you want to push B and then the red key, and you want to push B on the red key location and then the green key on the green key location. This will open the door and we can head through. Then we want to go onto the boat. Then we want to head to the right and then forward. There's nothing in the buildings to our left and right. So once we get to this cart here, you want to head to the right where it's all grassy. And you want to follow this. There is a fence, but it's very, very hard to see. You want to pretty much follow this as much as you can. Once you see this building, you want to head to it. This will activate the second ending we're getting. So again, you can hit B to skip through the conversation if you choose. So now we'll have a boss battle. You want to immediately run forward and equip your gun, but I don't do that because I want to show you where you actually are. Right now we're facing this fire. So you want to run straight down here. And then it's RB to aim and B to fire. And we want to just put as many bullets as we can in him. And then we want to run to our right through here and back up to those flames. And we're going to be rinsing and repeating that till he dies. This is why we stockpiled on ammo and why we had this gun over the pistol. And once he's dead, we unlock the next ending, which is the good ending. So congratulations on your second ending achievement. So you want to return to menu, and then we want to load our save again. And now we can get the easier ending. So you want to go load game. Again, do not go new game. This time we'll load up at the fishing area. So we can just head straight. This time at the cart instead of heading right. We want to walk into the fire for our last ending. As you can see, the Mortimer got us. Or did he? So that got us our last ending and our 1000G. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to keep the ending in here so anyone that wants to read it can. And thank you, sometimes you, for the code.